Yo, everybody, Serial Convert here with yet, yet another. This is the first one. This is the first vlog that I'm gonna be doing weekly to basically Serial Convert. Freaking, ugh. Okay, music. Kind of didn't expect it to loop back. Maybe I should do a take through. But Serial Comfort here for you with weekly blog. This is going to be a weekly blog where I basically record my progress and go through everything and everything and ever. And above all else, no edits, no anything, just a pure 10-minute go of what I'm doing. No retakes, no nothing. Well, maybe some retakes, but until then, it'll just be, no edits because I don't know how to edit at all. And maybe down the line, maybe I'll get down to some editing, but for right now, we're just going to keep it clean. This is going to be a good go-through vlog. I'm going to be recording my take of the week, how I'm doing, everything else, just to basically take a wall mark of how I'm doing and how I'm going to do going forward with my drawing and my other things. This is basically just a check through that is basically self-reflection that I'm going to be doing every week, and this is going to be a weekly thing because I've been trying to put off for the longest time doing anything on YouTube, because it's not really, it's kind of hard to pull off. There's a lot of cloud and everything and other than, but I decided to myself, because today is January the 4th, and that is my birthday. Today I decided to myself, Serial, you gotta really do something. You gotta really try. You gotta really put out your work. You put yourself out there. Because honestly, at the moment, I'm getting like nothing in likes or anything. So I might as well, since there's no backlash and since there's no criticism being yelled at me at all, I can just do whatever I want. So this is a good place to start. Let's be clear here. This is a good place to start. So let me start up that music. This is Serial Convert here for you with the first weekly vlog, here yet again. So, how am I doing this week? This week, I would have to say I'm doing pretty okay. This is December 27th. This is basically my I was drawing Neru, right? And it was fine. It was fine. It was good. I liked it. But I didn't have enough time to do anything, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have enough time at all. Let me turn that down a little bit more. No retakes, no cut-throughs, no nothing. This is just one go, straight through. This is going to be every week. Because, I can't be bothered to edit. Not that I can't be bothered to edit, more like, it's better to put yourself out there than not at all. What I'm saying is this is hustle culture. Not hustle culture in the bad kind of way. This is hustle culture in the way where I put my stuff out on YouTube. Some people may see it and they'll just say, Serial, that doesn't look really right. I think it could do some better with maybe some more lines or something. And that's why I'm putting myself out here. Also, because I said every week I would stream on Twitch every week. Once a week. You know what happened after the third, fourth week? Nothing happened. I stopped streaming. It didn't work out at all. It was wasn't really the best thing I could have ever done. So anyway, back to the focus at hand. We're going to be doing a weekly review of all the pictures that I did beforehand. And this has been going on for 174 days. 174 days, well actually, let me check again. Today is January the 4th, 2022. It is the 177th day. I have not turned in today's drawing, but I will after this. It is currently around like 6 o'clock. Basically, we went out to, I went out with my father and my brother. My brother was sick, not with COVID, mind you. And we went out to my favorite shop down the street, and they serve like, tonkatsu curry. It's basically my most favorite thing ever. So we went down there, we had a good laugh and then we had a good food. But because he was sick, I only ate half because I was kind of sick myself and he was sick as well. So we kind of just ended the stuff with a lot of takeovers. We took it home But before we went home, I went to my bank, I put in some more money, and then I did that hustle culture thing where I also went to my daily art supply store and I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought like I could show you. I bought some sketchbooks. I bought some lead supplies. And then I bought some more, oh jeez. I bought some more Lamy ink cartridge refills. And that was good. That was good. Good time. Cost me a lot of money though. So anyway, as you can see here, I've been drawing for 177 days. As I said before, 177 days. Every day I've been trying to make a picture, but for the most part, it hasn't been going so well. So that's why I'm starting this weekly kind of like, go around, this kind of self-reflection, because you know what matters most? Self-criticism. And you know what I get? No self-criticism, because I don't have anybody really looking at these kind of works. You know, like, self-criticism is fine and all, but I like, honestly, if I had to tell you anything, I'm pretty much just working at it. You know, it's just, I'm sharing this with you guys to indulge you and show you that I am trying, and that you guys, if you're into drawing or you think you should be drawing, you should definitely be drawing. Drawing, listen to me. Drawing is a good, very good hobby to do. I have tried to get both my brothers into it, and I've done it myself. It is something that is self-indulgent. It is something that doesn't take a lot of time if you get into it. And it is something that if you put enough time into it, it really makes you feel better about yourself as a person. Having a hobby is by far way better than wasting your days away playing some kind of video game or something. I'll tell you one thing. I started this vlog and I started this self-hustle culture solely because I used to not do anything. I used to just stay at home. I just used to play video games. I used to play 3 gachas at once. FGO, GBF, and Epic 7. And it was fun and all. And, you know, when I was in my Epic 7 career, I got like 100 to 150 viewers a stream. But, you know, it was really not what I wanted to do. It was something that really felt off. I felt constrained. I felt rushed to make content at a pace that was not suitable for me, and I made it for the masses who I like. That's why I like drawing. I like drawing because I like people. I like giving things to people. And when I say the masses, that's something that I just kind of say to be, you know, pessimistic about it. But what I mean to say is I like drawing, and I like being an entertainer, because I've been streaming on Twitch for about 7 years, ever since 2014. I was like 14 years old. I'm currently 23 because today's my birthday. Yesterday 22, today 23. But now I am 23, and I am seeing the years whittle by on and on and on. And I see my brother, looking back at him, he's 2-3 years behind me now. He's 20 years old. He's not doing anything. He has nothing to his name. He's exactly where I was. And when I was his age, I did the same thing. You know, I just sat home. I just didn't do anything. I just kind of just felt like I was doing not a lot of things. I was just there, you know. I was spending money on gachas. I was losing money overall. It wasn't really, you know, I was losing money by the week. My weekly allowance just gone, you know, and just nothing to show for it. You can have that money. You can have that gacha influence. You can be the top 100. When I led my guild in Epic 7, it was a top 10 guild. It was the best in the NA server. And the NA server was the best worldwide. That was like the peak, you know. Once you get to the peak in a gacha, there's no going back. You're just up there. There's no going further. You could be the top 1. I've hit top 1 PvP in Epic 7. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. You're at the top. You had the best players, And all it gave me was stress. You know, I'd rather go at my own pace. And that's why these videos are at my own pace. I am going at my own pace. This weekly draw, these weekly criticisms will just be basically me saying that I am here and I am doing something. And this is all I want to do, because what I want to do, I want to do. Because at the end of the day, you should do something rather than nothing. You know, while not playing video games is okay, if video games is all you live for, that's not wrong. You should do what you want to do. And I wanted to do video games. I wanted to do it for 7 years of my life. 8 years of my life. I never stopped doing video games, and I still don't today. I've been playing Kantai Collection. It's a Japanese mobile if you're on Android, a PC game for 7 years. I have 21 medals. I've been playing it on and off for the longest time, and I'm getting my work reinvigorated, my soul reinvigorated, getting back into it, putting myself out there, doing the daily hustle, because I love that game. There's nothing wrong with loving a game. My father's told me, you know, playing video games all your life isn't really all it's cracked up to be, and only now am I realizing, yeah, he was right. So what I did is I doubled down. I started drawing. I started making characters that I like. You know, I'm not the best at drawing. You can see clearly that these are not good drawings. These are just drawings for the sake of drawing. This is one of my OCs, right? And like, these drawings are not the best. And I'm never saying they are gonna be. But what I'm saying is, if you don't put yourself out there, if you never try, you're never gonna be, you know? Hustle culture is toxic in of itself. It's a double-edged sword. You can try to be something you're not, and that's exactly what I'm being. I'm trying to be something that I'm not, but that's because I'd rather be something than nothing. I am the kind of person that was by himself nothing before I started Kantai Collection. I was a man that was not in the best of straits, to put it bluntly. But going forward, I always liked anime. I always liked drawing anime. I always liked watching anime, and I always liked the people that put so much time, effort, and appreciation to just putting their work out there, doing the daily mix, just flat it out, putting their time in, and making those images. That is what I have always encouraged myself to be. But what I can't do right now is be at that point where I'm good. That is something you earn. It's not something that you get. This is what I'm gonna plan to do going forward. I'm gonna plan to make a daily draw like I've been doing for the last 177 days. And hopefully, with the help of this weekly benchmark and you guys, I can become a better artist. And I hope you're here for the journey as well. Because when it comes down to it, it's not about the end of the journey. It's not about what happens at the end of the run. That's over and done with. When you hit the finish line, it's just over. There's nothing left. You just have the satisfaction of being there. What matters more is the journey. What matters more is the representation of yourself, honing yourself over all those training arcs and getting to be a better person overall. That's what I truly believe. So anyway, Naru, my weekly benchmark. Every Monday I do a weekly benchmark. Not that good. I was rushed 3 hours. Didn't have a lot of time. This is Totetsu. I really liked the Totetsu. It was basically from a person that I watch. Sometimes they make Toho animations. I basically tried to copy their art style. I didn't have a lot of time, so obviously it's not that good. As you can see here, I'm mostly drawing in paper. If I could tell you one thing, drawing in paper is probably not the best for, you know, peer review or basically even showing anything. What you really want to do is get into digital artistry. But if you never put yourself out there, if you never try to be something, you'll never get to be something. So what I'm trying to do is when it comes down to it, I really like just drawing on paper. It just feels natural to me. I like it. And I was a man that just was like animating for 3 years before that, and I wasn't really good at animating. I wasn't really good at drawing, but it was something that I did every day. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, something you gotta understand is you should set goals for yourself. And what I'm gonna set for a goal for myself is making one animation every month. And you'll see here if that comes to fruition or not. It's the start of the month. My New Year's resolution is basically one animation every month, and then trying to do this weekly benchmark, and then trying to keep up with my, basically my daily draw. And that's what I want to do. Day 171. This is a sketch from Froggy Pot. I really like the game. It was a really nice game. It was just a cool, relaxing game about like mortal existence. It was a good game. This is Clyde and Scarl, basically my mains in League of Legends. I basically turned off some people just from saying that, but I just like them. They're nice. You know, the big blue sky. The big blue sky. It's all about property. It's all about claiming your land. It's all about freedom. That's what I always liked about Clyde. It was never about fighting or war or courage or anything else. It was about being free and doing what you want. At the end of the day, Clyde was just the kind of guy that did what he wanted because he could. And that's somebody I aspire to be. That's why I always like those characters, and that's why I main them. Because when it comes down to it, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't have drive. I'm the kind of guy that has to set goals for himself in order to be something, you know? That's who I am. Even on my birthday, if you don't do something, you're not gaining something. You're gonna be that kind of person that grows up 30, 40 years down the line, and you're gonna realize that you have done nothing. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be that kind of person that looks back and says, well, I did everything I wanted to do. I played video games for 30 years of my life. I did whatever I wanted to do. That's all I did. And I'm looking back at that, and I'm saying, well, I mean, what did that get you? Did you get anything from that? No, not inherently. That's all you live for. There are morals and there are stories to be imparted by innately consuming that product. But in of itself, you are being a consumer. It would be much better, in my opinion, to be a producer. Being a producer means you make something that other people will enjoy. It's a self-perpetuating cycle, I realize this. But when it comes down to it, there's nothing really else you can do in a human-like society. Other than, if you really wanted to be out of the norm, lock yourself into a log cabin and live 20 miles away from, any hospitable land. Doesn't really get you anything, let's be clear. It's just kind of something that happens, You're just something that has decided to not live. If you want to be something, you should at least be something for others. To be for yourself is fine, but to be for yourself who is also there for others is better. Honestly, everything I'm saying is a little bit hypocritical. It's a little bit self-imparted, and honestly, it's just full of convoluted holes. But that's who I am at the end of the day. I'm just a person that doesn't know what he's doing. I'm the kind of person that has to set goals to understand who I am. Because at the moment, everybody goes through that training arc. They try to find themselves. They try to, train to become that higher and higher and higher, better person. The guy goes on to train, and then he becomes Saiyan, then they become Super Saiyan, and then he eventually beats Satan. You know what I'm saying? That's not really the plot at all of Dragon Ball Z. But what I mean to say is, life is something that happens. It's better to do something with it than not. And when it comes down to it, it's better to try to find something to do with your life than not you know, roll along with the waves and let it come to you and then let it just overtake you and you just go with the flow. That's fine. Some people do get their life that way, but I was never that kind of person. I was that kind of person that sat on his chair, like I'm doing right now, and did nothing. For 17 years, I did nothing. I did nothing, not because I had nothing. I had everything. I had money, I had a supportive family, I had a good education, I had everything I ever wanted. But I never had the drive, I never had the passion to do anything. That's why you have to impart that sometimes passion is not gained, it is earned. Passion inherently by itself is something that is... Passion is something that is inherently achieved. It is something... Not everybody is born with passion. That's the sad thing. I was never born with passion. I never had this kind of lifelong goal. I never grew up knowing where I wanted to be when I grew up. That was never me. That will never be me. What I want to try to say is, I want to try to be somebody that I would be proud of. And that would be an artist. That would be a voice actor. That would be an animator. And when it comes down to it, I'd rather be something I'm not than be nothing at all. And this is not a sad existence. I've been having the time of my life. It's just been a little stressful. Setting these goals, meeting these goals, having something to work forward to in the day has massively helped my mental state. Because I used to not think about much. And let me tell you, the things I did think about were not fun. They were not fun at all. Let's be clear. They were not fun. That's why I kind of gave up Epic 7. When I was at the top, I started becoming anxious. I started feeling that I wasn't up to snuff. I started hating myself for being something that I knew I could not fully achieve. And when it came down to it, my crewmates relied on me and I let them down. That was a bad time. That was a bad time. They relied on me. I was the guild leader and everything, and I held it. I headed a top 3 Hall of Fame kind of guild, and I just let them down. It was just not fun, you know? And that was a really dark time for me. And I was the kind of guy that got everything you wanted. Why I was streaming on 7 years of Twitch is because I got everything I wanted. Everybody watched me. And it was fun. It was fun and all. But I mean, like, when it comes down to it, I want to give back to the people that gave to me. My entire life, I have been kind of held hand and foot and given everything I wanted. And, you know, that's a really selfish existence. You know, I don't want to keep being selfish for the next 30, 40, 50 years of my life. That's sad. Dude, people that impart to themselves that they're the most important thing in the world are just narcissistic at best. And I'm a major narcissist. Let me be honest with you right here, right now. I'm the kind of guy that just believes in himself and does what he wants to do. And because I do what I want to do, I get what I want. And that in of itself is the whole reason this kind of rant is kind of self-deprecating. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's be honest here. I never did know what I was saying. But what I'm trying to impart here, what I'm trying to say here, is that this is a classic serial rant, and this is just going to go on and on and on. Which is why I need to get my words out sometimes. This weekly benchmark is more... I'm here for you guys to help encourage you to be something if you have nothing. Because I knew when I was at the age of 19, 17, I felt the exact same way. It's hard to be somebody in a world full of everybody. It's hard to be, you know, outside the grain. It's hard to be that revolutionary kind of person. And when it comes down to it, you don't need to be that kind of revolutionary person. I always thought myself to be that kind of revolutionary person. I always thought of myself to be above the top, to be at the top, to be the very best. And once I was there in Epic 7, I fell apart. Because once I hit the top, there was nothing left for me there. And honestly, it just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Because people relied on me and I let them down. I thought I was the best, but in actuality, I was second rate. And this is why having something to do, being in the journey, is better than being at the end of the journey. To be at the very top, there's nothing left for you there. It's better to be in the middle. It's better to be somewhere out in the far distance, seeing your goal and trying to achieve it. Put yourself out there. Try to attain it. And once you attain it, set a bigger goal. Set something else that may keep you there. Keep you in motion. To be in motion is better than to not be in motion at all. When it comes down to it, artistry is one of those most respected and most philosophically, mentally exhausting kind of mental fortitude jobs that can be out there. Some people do it just for stress relief, but I want to make stories. I want to give out to the people, and I want to make them understand that they can be anything they want to be. Because when it comes down to it, I just believed in myself to be who I wanted to be, and I was that person. If not for a long time, just the slightest brief moment. Because when it comes down to it, whenever you put your mind to something, that's what really matters. The biggest opponent, the biggest enemy you could ever have is yourself. At the end of the day, never doubt yourself. Doubt everybody else. Who will have your back at the end of the world? Nobody will. You will. You yourself and I. Those are the only people. Me, myself, and I is what I mean to say. But what I'm trying to say is, when it comes down to it, relying on yourself and setting goals that you know you can accomplish by yourself is better than trying to hold yourself to the standard of the common man. When the people look down on you, when the people expect you to do something you're not capable of because you told them you could do it, that's when you fall apart. That's when you lose, and that's when you truly just blow up on yourself. So anyway, this was the New Year's picture. These are all three of my OCs, and you know what I'm saying here. This doesn't look good at all, right? This doesn't look good at all. But that's part of the grind. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be than not to be. I know there's blatant consistency problems. I know there's blatant issues, and that's fine. It's fine to suffer. It's fine to not be alright. That is always alright. And if you want to suffer and that's who you are, that's fine. Everything is fine. Just as long as you're okay with it. As long as you like what you're doing, that's fine. Just do what you want to do. And I will continue to do what I want to do. This is Heshiko that I basically drew based on, in part, from this. Except she's kind of looking upwards. I really like this piece because I actually did some line consistency testing. Basically, I made the lines kind of bigger or smaller, which I didn't normally do beforehand. And I feel like I really hit it out of the ballpark with this one. It was really nice. I really like this one. This one, I was just doing it because I had an hour on me. Whenever I have an hour on me, I normally go for like the Kanmusu kind of thing. I normally go for the fairy draws. And this was yesterday. Every Monday, like I said, I normally do like a, basically a weekly benchmark where I have to do a full body render. And this is my full body render. The thing about the face is I only had like 30 minutes to concept it. I wasn't able to do anything at all. Let's be honest here. But I really like the result. You know, I was talking to Len. He's basically, you know, one of my art supervisors. One of the people I talk to on Discord. He said there was basically some line issues, but the way I was trained to draw was basically an animation. And animation was basically as rough as possible, as rough as you can. Draw the initial outline and then refine it from there. So that's why I had so many lines. But he makes a good point that sometimes cleaner is better. But if you're just starting out in art, I would highly recommend you just get into it. Get into it as rough as you can. Try to feel that body, feel that shape. Work with the basic shapes and work yourself up into a higher level. You know what I'm saying? Because that, at the end of the day, matters more than just trying to be a perfectionist. You can spend a long time working on a bad painting, but that's only going to make it a marginally better looking bad painting. It's still going to be a bad painting because paint is irreversible. But if you keep working on it, it's just going to look slightly better overall, if not worse, because you're putting so much thought into it. When it comes down to it, the kind of training I'm kind of doing, one drawing every day, is the kind of drawing that doesn't let you relax. It's the kind of thing that keeps you in a groove, keeps a constant flow. I have been doing this for 176 days. 176 days. If you look at through all of this, every single day I've been drawing. Every single day I've been keeping a record. And it just keeps on going. And that's what I'm trying to do going into the future. And if you're here for me for that kind of, like, you know, for that kind of resolute kind of a spree, going upwards and onwards, that would be great. Well, we've hit the 30-minute mark, and that's been enough for today. Sorry for all the rants. It's my first video, you know what I'm saying? This is my first try on this. But thanks everybody for watching. Follow or like for subscribe or like for more, and until next time or something, I'll see you all later. Thanks so much for watching.